Let me begin with a simple question today. What's the most powerful force in the course of human history? No, it is not intelligence. It's not ambition. It's not even love, extraordinary as that is. The most powerful force in human life really is habit. A single habit repeated quietly year after year, rain or shine, salary month or dry month. It has toppled empires, built cathedrals, and turned ordinary people into extraordinary ones. The farmer who rises before dawn anything before the month has the chance to devour it. We do not become what we dream. We become what we repeatedly do. That's the story I want to share with you this morning. Not simply a story about markets, though the markets have rewarded our discipline. Not simply a story about products, though our products have never been sharper. I want to tell you a story of habits. A nation quietly and powerfully learning to form one. Last night, I was reviewing messages from our customers. Thousands arrive every day. There are questions, gratitudes in some cases, queries, concerns. Most I read quickly, but one from last night stopped me. It was a single sentence from a gentleman called Dunston. He wrote, "Good evening. I enrolled at one point about 8 years ago. I would like to get back my details and start saving again." I quickly took a screenshot of this and sent it to the team. Because of that one sentence, 8 years. I want you to understand what those 8 years mean. They do not mean failure. They do not mean the idea of building a future abandoned Dunston. They mean quite the opposite. Somewhere in those 8 years, through the school fees paid and unpaid, through the rent, through the funerals and the weddings, through the emergencies that devour the best of our intentions, through all of it, the idea never left Dunston. It sat quietly inside him, like an ember beneath ash. And when the moment was right, he came back to fan it into a flame. He blew on it. I promise you, with that little step forward, Dunston will be unstoppable. Not because he's exceptional, ladies, gentlemen, but because he has done the hardest thing any of us can do. He has returned. He has returned. He has chosen again to believe that tomorrow can be better than yesterday. That single word, we underline it again, is the most powerful word in the language of habits. It does not mean starting over. It means picking up where the intention never actually left off. That is the habit we are in the business of building at Zeno. The habit of returning, the habit of choosing, the habit of beginning and beginning again. When we started Zeno back in 2017, the investment landscape, as you know it, and as I've repeated it in the past, was a closed room. The door was locked, and only the wealthy knew where the key was hidden. The askari, the border driver, the school teacher working 6 days a week, the nurse on the night shift, they had no seat at the table. You could not invest 10,000 shillings 10 years ago, 8 years ago. As I have stated in the past, we built Zeno on a single radical conviction that every Ugandan who earns an income deserves the same quality of investment guidance that the world's wealthiest families have always taken for granted. Not an inferior version, not a consolation prize, the real thing. But the more we built, the more we discovered something deeper. The barrier was never only the access. Access was part of it, but that wasn't the only thing. The barrier was habit. People did not lack the desire to set aside some of their income. They lacked the structure to do it consistently. They lacked a system that could convert a good intention into an automatic, invisible, effortless act. The way breathing happens, whether you think about it or not. So that is what we built, not just an investment platform, as nice as it is, but it's a habit formation engine. And how did we do that? The science of habits tells us something quite remarkable. Every lasting habit rests on a clear cue, a routine that becomes automatic through repetition, and a reward that reinforces the cycle. Remove the friction, make the right action the easiest action, repeat, and then the mind does the rest. We applied this insight to investing. We built it into about 4 layers. The first layer is just clarity. A habit without a purpose is just noise, really, friends. But a habit attached to something you love is momentum that impels you forward. The first thing Zeno does, if you interact with it, is to help you identify and name that goal. What is it that you want to achieve? It's not a vague aspiration, and even if you have vague aspiration, we can help narrow them down. But it's a specific, dated destination. It's a home by 2030, a university fund for your daughter, an emergency cushion worth 6 to 12 months of your salary. When you enter that number, something remarkable happens. The impossible dream actually becomes mathematics. It's just math. The mountain does not shrink, but what you do is you see the path through it. I've mentioned a wonderful lady previously, Mrs. Muziribi, my primary school headmistress, who came to us after she had received her NSSF, and suddenly friends, family, who she hadn't heard from in years, discovered that they had financial advisor talent. She was buffeted from every direction about you should do this, you should farm, you should vanilla, coffee, whatever, down in Chikubo, right? We helped her build a post-retirement portfolio that stretches beyond her sunset years. Just as disciplined as she was in accumulating the NSSF, we wanted the decumulation phase to be as structured. That goal became her anchor. She's been a proud customer of Zeno since 2018. The plan essentially made the noise disappear. Her daughters got in touch with us last year at the end and said, my mom, Mrs. Muziribi, who hadn't looked into her Zeno investment account in about 6 years, asked them a question: where did all this money come from? Where did all this money come from? That is when you tune out the noise and let the compounding do the job. The second layer we built is automation. Knowing what to do and actually, friends, doing it are two entirely different things. As you know, life is a relentless negotiator. It always finds a reason why this month is not quite the right month to start. School fees, car repairs, the cousin's wedding, a neighbor's emergency, and before long, another year has vanished. We took that negotiation off the table through autosave via our partners at MTN, and we're working with our partners at at Airtel as well to bring it live. Our partners at Stanbic helped us take it live as well. Your investment now happens quietly, consistently, automatically. You decide once, and then your future gets funded every month. Whether you remember it or not, it doesn't matter. It just gets built. Nachivuka is a mobile money agent. She did not suddenly earn more money. No. She did not win a tender or receive an inheritance. No. She simply automated the decision and let time and compounding do the rest. Today, she owns a piece of land to build a home for her family. Automation did not change Nachivuka's salary, it just changed her future. Bernadette, a teacher working in the diaspora, who lost her job during the pandemic, from thousands of kilometers away, through disruption and fear, she rebuilt herself again. She built an emergency fund. She invested in her son's future. Consistency made frictionless by automation is what has protected her across the oceans. The third layer is resilience. A habit that breaks at the first difficulty is not a habit at all. It's a plan, but plans often collapse under pressure. Habits endure. We protect the habit by diversifying across 4 professionally managed unit trust funds. Think of a table, a 4-legged table, instead of one. Each fund invests differently, different assets, different time horizon, different lengths, different exposures of the underlying drivers of return. When one season is difficult for one of the funds, another provides the balance. We do not ask you to wager everything on a single outcome, on a single fund. No. We build something designed to withstand seasons, because the seasons, they always change. Amos from Mubende used to lie awake wondering what would happen to his children if life happened. What would happen? He sleeps now, not because the world has become less uncertain. It did not. We know it. But because his buffer now exists, because the habit has held. The fourth layer is visibility. A habit you cannot see tends to fade. We make yours visible. Open your phones anytime. If you're a Zeno customer, see where you are today. See how far you've come. See how much further you need to go. That is not cosmetic. That is progress. Even small progress is the reward that reinforces the future. Confidence breeds consistency. Consistency, compounded across months, years, is what wealth is made of. When we last gathered here last year about this time, we celebrated having had 500,000 Ugandans begin this journey. Today, I'm deeply honored to stand before you and report that we now have helped more than 850,000 people take that first step. I and the rest of the team, thank you, I and the rest of the team do not see 850,000 accounts. No. We see 850,000 habits in formation. I see 850,000 people who have decided, some boldly, some tentatively, like Dunston, who stepped away and came back, that their future is worth fighting for. 850,000 people who refused to let uncertainty in the world become an excuse for inaction. Inflation here, exchange rate there, wars here. Those are all excuses. Those are 850,000 people who've not let that be an excuse. 850,000 people repeated, quiet, determined acts of faith in tomorrow. Each one represents someone choosing to believe that they are the author of their own story, not the passenger, not the bystander, the author. And we are profoundly honored that they chose to write this story with us. It is our intention to come back next year, friends, next year, with more than 1 million habits enabled. 1 million Ugandans who have decided that tomorrow is not something that merely arrives, but something that is deliberately, consistently, and repeatedly built. We're living through a season of noise, prices shift, currencies moves, headlines carry the weight of crisis happening thousands of kilometers away and somehow still find their way into our pockets. Technology is reshaping entire industries faster than any generation has witnessed before. And in the middle of all of it, something quietly remarkable is happening in Uganda. Our people are building habits, and we have the receipts for them. Over 60% of Zeno's customers are 30 years and under. A generation that has never known certainty as a given is choosing to build it anyway. One autosave at a time, one goal entered, 1 month automated, 1 year compounded. We did not manufacture this. We provided the tools, and Ugandans did the rest. Certainty is not found in the world around you. It is built quietly inside you. One small, consistent, repeated act at a time. Zeno is where visionaries come to build their future. If we succeed, if we keep building this habit, one person at a time, then we will not merely build and grow a company. We will grow a country. Let me come back to Dunston, finally. He enrolled 8 years ago. Life intervened, as life always does. But last night, he wrote us one sentence, and in that sentence, I had something that moved me more than any fund return can. He said, "Technology fails, habit endures." But we will go back to our gentleman Dunston. He said, "I would like to start saving again." That word contains an entire philosophy. It means the ember is still lit. It means I have not given up myself. It means 8 years were not wasted. There were years in which the intention was quietly gathering the courage to return. We planted a tree in 2017. We did not know then how tall it would grow, but we trusted the soil. The soil was Ugandan grit, Ugandan dreams, Ugandan discipline. Today, 850,000 people sit in its shade. We intend to keep it growing until 1 million families find shelter in its shade. To every Dunston in this room, we were here 8 years ago. We're here now. We will be here whenever you are ready. Again and again and again. To every Tamale, to every Bernadette, to every Amos, to every Mrs. Muziribi, thank you for proving with your shillings, with your steadfastness, that the habit of building is contagious, that it spreads, that it changes families, that it changes communities. It can change countries. To every person in this room who has not yet begun, your first step is waiting. It does not need to be large. It only needs to be real. And then it only needs to be repeated, because that is all habit ever is. A beginning repeated. We do not become what we dream about. We become what we repeatedly do. Let us build Uganda together. And oh yes, we can. Thank you very much.